How do I run more without my knee hurting? Hey runner, you're feeling better and trying to run farther and faster. It's frustrating because every time you run, your knee hurts more. So it's like one step forward and two steps back. Keep watching because you'll learn the exact things to focus on now, including how to run farther without your knee hurting, how to run faster without your knee hurting, what strength exercises are best for you right now, the best shoes for running, the best stretches for your knee pain, what to do after a run to decrease your knee pain, and how to fuel your body for your running routine right now. You've hit a real turning point for your knee pain. Although your pain isn't completely gone, it's predictable. You know exactly what will flare it up. Overall, the pain levels are lower because you're avoiding the things that bug it. You're sure how to fully get rid of your pain when it comes on. Whew! You're running. You know which pace and distance works for you, so you do that. Your pain is low. Your pain is predictable. You know exactly what flares it up. You know exactly what calms it down. At this stage of the game, your knee is feeling better. But you aren't really running the way you want to because each time you increase how much you're running, how far you're running, how fast you're running, or basically if you do anything different, your knee hurts. So you're stuck in a running rut and you can't get out of it because your knee hurts. This is a common place for runners to be because of their knee pain. Follow along to learn what to focus on now so you're getting back to the running the way you want to. You're probably thinking, I'm stuck at this distance, or I'm stuck at this pace forever because my knee hurts, and every time I try and run more, it hurts more. See, it's not that you're stuck at this distance or this pace. It's that every time you run farther or faster, you've done more than your knee is ready for. It's not that you can't ever run more or faster. It's that you need to increase it more slowly over time. You've gone too far, too fast. Instead, focus on a slow and steady increase over time, over lots of time. The main focus in this stage is increasing what you're doing in a safe way, and that includes doing only one of the things that I'm going to mention now at a time. This could be increasing your pace, running faster, increasing your distance, running farther, or increasing your time, also running farther. Since you know what bothers your knee and what calms it down, it's easy to predict what will flare it up. So you want to increase what you're doing and only increase it a little bit so your knee barely notices a difference. You need to follow the 10% rule. The 10% rule in running helps heal knee pain so you can do more running. The 10% rule in training is where you increase by 10% farther or 10% faster. No more and only one of them. It's important to only increase by 10% because it's a slow and steady increase. It's enough to start making a difference, but not so much that your knee notices a threat. And only work on going farther or faster, not both. Doing both at the same time is too much for your knee at this point. It's easiest to explain how to use the 10% rule when using a treadmill for running. You can easily track your distance, time, and pace. So you can go 10% farther or 10% faster at the click of a button. So let's talk about going farther first. When talking about running 10% farther, are you measuring time or distance? So do you track your distance, I'm running 1 mile today, or do you track your time, I'm running 20 minutes today? First, choose which you're doing, and then follow these steps. So for distance, when you track your distance and are running farther, you'll add 10% of the distance you've been running. So at this point, you should add 10% to each individual run. Keep them all the same. We'll make a few assumptions for this to work. In this example, you're running 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. The pace you can run without your knee hurting is about 13 minutes per mile, and the distance you're comfortable running without knee pain is 2 miles at a time. So you've been doing 2 miles on Tuesday, 2 miles on Thursday, 2 miles on Saturday. To run farther without hurting your knee, you'll add 10% of your run to your next run. 10% of 2 miles is 0.2. So 2 miles plus 0.2 is 2.2 miles. Each run will be 2.2 miles. So you'll run 2.2 Tuesday, 2.2 Thursday, 2.2 Saturday. Your pace is always 13 minutes per mile. When you track time and are running farther, you'll add 10% of the time you've been running. At this point, you should add 10% time to each individual run. Keep all the runs the same length of time. So we'll make a few assumptions. In this example, you're running 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The pace you'll run is 13 minutes per mile, and the length of time you're comfortable running without knee pain is 26 minutes at a time. So you've been running 26 minutes Tuesday, 26 on Thursday, and 26 on Saturday. To run farther without hurting your knee, you'll add 10% of the length of time of your run to your next run. 10% of 26 minutes is 2.6 minutes. So 26 minutes plus 2.6 is 28.6 miles. Then multiply that decimal point by 60 because 0.6 doesn't give you the number of seconds you'll be running. So 0.6 is 36. So you'll run 28 minutes and 36 seconds total. You can round this number down to 28 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't round up because that goes beyond 10%. So now you'll run 28 minutes, 36 seconds on Tuesday and Thursday, and again 28 minutes and 36 seconds on Saturday at a 13-minute per mile pace. What about running 10% faster? When you want to run faster, you'll be running at a faster pace. To go faster without hurting your knee at this point, you'll subtract 10% from your previous pace to make yourself go 10% faster. We'll make assumptions here. You're running currently a 13 minutes per mile pace because you can run that pace without your knee hurting. And you're currently doing 2 miles at a time, 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This is easiest to run faster on the treadmill because you can just click up one button when setting your pace. A 13-minute per mile pace is about 4.6 miles per hour. So to go 10% faster, hit that up button on the speed and go 4.7 miles per hour. If you're not running on a treadmill, go ahead and Google treadmill pace calculator to figure out your pace. Make sure to keep running the same time or distance that you've been running. Don't go faster and farther at the same time. Is running more the only thing to focus on now? Nope. It's never just one thing. Running more happens to be the primary focus right now. As always, there are other components to incorporate, like your strength training, recover after every run, the quality of the equipment you're using, stretching you're doing, and how you're fueling your body. So let's talk about strength training. Strength training at this point, you want to start to incorporate strength training for the muscles at your knees slowly. In the first month of running farther or faster, skip knee strength exercises. This is important because only make one change at one time. So for the first month, focus only on running farther or faster and continue the strength training you've been doing up until this point. These could include, but aren't limited to, your bicep curls, overhead press, rows, chest press, triceps extension, Russian twist, dying bug, moving your arms, 4-way straight leg raise, and your 3-way heel raise. For these exercises, add dumbbells or ankle weights to make them more challenging. Check the link in the description to buy some on Amazon. After the first month, you can start adding in strength exercises directly at the knee. Incorporate them slowly in a small range of motion and very few reps. So these exercises include a different group of exercises. So group 1 are squats, front lunges, knee extension, leg press, or front step-ups. Group 2 is lateral step-downs or lateral lunges. Group 3, ham curl machine or deadlift. Choose one exercise from each group, 1, 2, and 3, to do. Perform the exercise in a small range of motion, do body weight or low weight if it's a machine, and do 5 repetitions. Each week, add more range of motion and keep the same number of reps and keep the same amount of weight. To do step-ups at home, use a platform like the one linked in the description. Are squats and lunges bad for my knees? No, squats and lunges aren't bad for your knees. However, they do add a lot of stress to your knees, anywhere between 5 to 10 times your body weight. So when your knee has been hurting, it's best to choose those exercises carefully. You want to manage the amount of stress you're putting on your knee. And in this stage of your recovery, you want it to run farther or faster. So although squats and lunges aren't bad for your knees, if you're adding stress in another form, in this case running farther or faster, you need to manage the amount of stress you put on your knee from other things. What do I do after a run so my knee doesn't hurt? At this stage of the game, you know what bothers your knee and you know what makes it feel better. Continue with the techniques that make it feel better as you're slowly ramping up and running farther or faster. If you haven't been doing specific things to help your knee recover from a workout, check the information in the link in the description. As a refresher, these include ice, heat using moist or electric heat, Epsom salt baths, foam rolling, massage gun, and massage. The first 5 of these techniques should be done after every run, workout, or stretching routine. Massage should be done once a week or once every other week to ease into a maintenance routine. As you move forward through the stages of knee pain and get to stage 4, all these techniques will be done in a maintenance routine. As you're getting back into the swing of things and worrying about your knee hurting again, you're probably wondering if you're wearing the right shoes. Shoes are very important in running, and not all shoes will work for each person. It's important to have assessments done to check if your shoes are right for you. You can do this by taking an online assessment. Many shoe companies have a questionnaire you can answer based on your feet, where you run, and other things to determine what shoes would work best. Another option is to go to your local running store and have your running gait assessed, and they'll make recommendations for you. Neither of these options are an end-all be-all, and you still have to try them out, and the recommendations may or may not work for you. Luckily, most companies give you a trial period when you buy them from their company. I know Brooks does this. What stretches help knee pain from running? So the next component to include in your routine is the stretching you're doing. This component includes your warm-up, cool down, and static stretching. So warm up before a run. You'll often hear people say you need to stretch before a run. This isn't really true. What you do need to do is warm up before a run. A warm-up is anything that increases your heart rate by 20%. This primes your heart and your muscles to be ready for running so you aren't going from 0 to 60, which your heart and muscles don't like. Warm-ups include walking, riding a bike, dynamic stretching, jumping jacks, marching in place, high knees, butt kicks, and any combination of those. Typically, it takes 5 to 10 minutes of these activities to increase your heart rate by 20%, at which point you're good to go and can start out for a run. Cool down is just that, cooling down from what you just did. You'll also hear it called a warm down. They are the same thing. Some people change the name to warm down so it makes it known that you aren't just sitting and cooling off, you're actively doing something. The point of the cool down is to slowly decrease your heart rate from the fast-paced running speed back down to resting without going from 60 to 0 and suddenly stopping. Cool downs include walking, riding a bike, dynamic stretches, and typically it takes another 5 to 10 minutes to get your heart rate to come back down. The quicker your heart rate comes back down from your running heart rate, the better shape you're in. After a cool down comes your static stretching. Your heart rate at this point may not be completely at your resting rate, but it's significantly slower than your running heart rate. Static stretches are an important part of the running process. Without static stretching, you could be putting yourself at risk for injury. Static stretching after running decreases muscle knots, improves flexibility, and decreases soreness. So, should you stretch before or after a run? Stretch after a run. The best way to describe it is to think about a rubber band. Imagine you have 2 rubber bands. Place both of them in a freezer for 24 hours. Take the first rubber band out of the freezer, place it around all 5 of your fingers, and immediately try and stretch it out by spreading your fingers apart. Did it go anywhere? Barely. Now take that second rubber band out of the freezer. Take it between both of your hands and rub them together back and forth for 60 seconds. Then place that rubber band over your 5 fingers again and stretch it out by spreading your fingers apart. Did it stretch farther than the first rubber band? I bet it did. Our muscles have elastic fibers similar to the rubber band. The more warmed up the elastic fibers are, the easier and more willing they are to stretch. And it's not that stretching before a run is bad or you'll get injured doing it. It's that you really aren't doing much of anything except wasting your time. Your muscles aren't warmed up enough to make headway on getting more flexible or stretching out muscle knots. So wait until after they're warmed up to stretch. Plus, if you stretch before your run, you don't get any of the benefits stretching gives you to decrease the stiffness and soreness it does when you stretch after a run. What stretches are best? So stretch all major muscle groups in your body after a run. This includes your glutes, piriformis, quads, hamstrings, calves, hip flexors, your feet, your plantar fascia, pecs, upper traps, and your middle back, lower back. Stretches should be done for 2 repetitions and hold 30 seconds each time. Let's talk about fueling your body. What you eat and drink at this point will fuel you for your run and your workouts, or it'll contribute to continued pain and flare-ups. Eat a balanced diet of the major macros, protein, fat, and carbs. Before a run, eat something light with each macro in it. So toast with peanut butter. The peanut butter acts as protein and fat in that combo. You could do a smoothie, spinach, blueberries, protein powder, collagen powder, banana, avocado, and water. Immediately after a run, eat something light with all the macros in it. Chocolate milk, that has all three on its own. A protein shake with a banana and almond butter. And then later in the day after a run, eat something more substantial with all the macros. So a turkey sandwich with bacon and avocado on it, or pizza with meat and cheese on top. These are just a few examples of what to eat before and after running. The main thing to think about when fueling for your running routine is hitting all macros and avoid refined sugars and processed foods. At this point, protein is important to fill you up, but also provides the building blocks to repair any injured spot, like minor breakdown in muscles and any injury in your knee. Carbs give you quick energy for the run and keep you from feeling lightheaded after the run. Fats give you energy for the rest of the day and help keep your mind sharp all day. Keep refined sugar and processed food intake to a minimum. These foods and ingredients fuel inflammation, and since you're healing your knee, you don't want to add fuel to the inflammation that's still lingering in your knee and your body. There you have it. As you're feeling better and fighting your knee pain as you run farther and run faster, these are the exact things to focus on now, including how to run farther without your knee hurting, how to run faster without your knee hurting, what strength exercises are best right now, the best shoes for running, the best stretches for your knee, what to do after a run to decrease your knee pain, and how to fuel your body for your running routine now. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video comes up so that you can run without knee pain.